Welcome to Off the Record. Can you handle it?
Probably not.
Okay. First question is, what is the most you've ever been paid in one day?
By one client,
No? Cash collected.
£2,000.
What was that for?
A combination of coaching, a half-day kind of coaching experience with somebody, some smaller coaching projects, and some psychotherapy work.
Out of all of these things that you've just listed, what is your favorite?
I would say coaching because I blend coaching and psychotherapy. So it brings in both of those skills that I use.
Have you been able to repeat it?
Once.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well done. In your business, there must have been one moment that is probably the most embarrassing moment that you've ever experienced from a business perspective. What was that?
I think working with somebody and starting a session with them, making an assumption that they were somebody completely different than I was working with. So I started talking about our previous session and I could see their face slowly disintegrate as if I was talking about somebody else and I couldn't understand what was going on. Like they suddenly couldn't remember their own life until about 5 minutes in and I realized I was talking about somebody completely different.
Oh my gosh. How did you come back from that?
Oh, I own the only way that you can, which is completely own it, make a joke out of it, and we laughed a lot.
Were you able to maintain that client?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've worked with them for a while, and I think for me, it was 100% about owning it, being human, bringing in that real life experience. I'm not a robot. I pride myself on knowing all my client stuff, and I could, talk with a client about their stuff off the top of my head. I know where they are. I know what's going on. I know their history. And so, yeah, it was horrendous for me.
How long have you had your business?
In various forms, 15, 16 years.
What is the biggest sacrifice you've had to make to get to where you are right now?
I think I've been really balanced with my role as a father and as a husband. And so I balanced that. I think some of my sacrifice has been too far the other way and not bringing enough into my business at times. But I think if we talk about just what sacrifices the rest of my life experience because I'm running this, I think it's when I've been out of line with what I want to be doing. So when I'm doing what I think I should be doing rather than what I know I made to be doing, I think so much gets sacrificed. And so for me, it's about staying consciously aware of what I'm choosing to do in my business. Otherwise, I lose a sense of myself.
And when have you realized that you are out of that balance?
What I notice in that is to start with subtle shifts of just how I wake up in the morning, how I approach the work, when I look at the clients that I have for the day, how I feel. Quite often, though, it's other people noticing something has shifted in me. So it's been when I've worked with coaches, it's been when I've been in clinical supervision, when I've been kind of assessing my work with another qualified psychotherapist. It's also learning to trust my wife, who knows me way better than I do at times, being willing to listen to her observations of me.
What makes you not want to listen to her observations of you?
Oh, when I absolutely know that I'm right. When I don't want to admit that I'm hearing the truth, because it's going to require another change of direction, or it's going to require me to face the reality that I've made choices that have got me there. So it's owning my own stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's what stops a lot of us with that kind of thing.
If nobody else was watching you on socials or, networking events, what would you do differently?
I probably own who I am and believe in myself a lot more. There's a lot of what I carry into my business, which is a lot of old scripts from things that have been told to me over the years, from childhood upwards, from different people, different places. And I think I approach an external version of me, what people see. I think I can approach that almost apologetic at times. And I think if it wasn't for that, I would probably own who I am. Again, this is kind of a reoccurring theme, isn't it? I think I would definitely lean into just the trust of who I am and know how good I am at the job, without that sense of having to minimize myself around other people. And I know why that exists. That exists from a script that I was given from a very young age about being seen. That comes out when people are watching. So without that, I think I would probably be more authentically myself. I think the authentic self is someone that feels purely comfortable with who they are, away from comparison of other people. And I think we live in a world of real comparison with being online, being in that space, having people watching, but also us watching other people and going, where do I fit in this hierarchy of expertise, of income, of money, of things like that? And then where should I be? And so that fear of people watching me and that fear of judgment that I feel can feel dangerous. And so the authentic version of me, I think, exists out of that space, out of the fear of danger, and more into a space of I can just be me uniquely, away from comparison. And I think I operate better when I'm in that space. I know I'm better for my clients when I'm relaxed. I'm better for myself. I'm better for my family. That's better for my business to be seen as a uniquely placed business, not just another person in the mix that's graded against other people, but fundamentally I am a brand of one that doesn't sit in other spaces because I'm me, because I am the only person, I own the only business that has a Will Taylor in the middle of it. And so I can't compare myself to other people. When I have confidence to just be that, things flow.
If you lost everything tomorrow and you had to rebuild the same business all over again, what is the first thing that you would do?
I probably wouldn't build the same business.
Oh, really?
I probably wouldn't build this. I'm not saying that I wouldn't be doing what I do
No.
now, but I think it would look very different.
Okay.
I think the business that I've got has been a business that has evolved. There's been small changes, big changes, but it's always been framed from what was there before. So it's been this incremental. If I was to go in, I would not be pressured to work with people immediately to fulfill the income. I know that that would be a pressure because I've lost everything and I need to rebuild, but I think I would be more confident with what I've got. I think I would start by creating space for people to come together. Especially, I think in the world that we're in right now, I think there is this huge shift towards digital, more AI, more of that. But I think there is going to be such a need for the analog space to exist. There is going to be such a need for connection. I think therapists are not a dying breed, but I think the role of therapists is going to change in whatever context. For me, within founders and entrepreneurs, but for anything, AI is going to take an awful lot of the low end, easy stuff. And there's space for it. And I encourage some of my clients to use it and I teach them how to use it in the appropriate way. But I think the connection of people in an offline space, the purely analog connection that people are going to need to really connect with themselves, I think that's where I would start. And then any incremental change that would come from that would look different from the incremental change of what my business looks like now because of COVID, because of going online, because of that kind of thing. I think I would stop it, go as much analog in person as I possibly could and see what developed from that.
That's really interesting. I like that. You've been listening to Off the Record. I'm Ivy Malik, a business coach for creative entrepreneurs, and this is
Will Taylor, psychotherapist coach.